OSHA has proposed a $145,000 fine for Caterpillar since a worker died when he fell into molten iron.
These harsh working conditions were common at the turn of the 20th century. In 1906, Upton Sinclair published The Jungle, a novel about the American meatpacking industry.
But more importantly, he came out of the plant radicalized by what happened to the workers, how they got chewed up the same way the food did.
Sinclair used the horrors he witnessed as the basis for Jurgis's fictionalized story. As Jurgis discovers, work in the plant involves back-breaking labor in unsafe conditions. When a worker becomes ill or gets injured, he's cast aside, and hundreds of jobless men fight to replace him. Workers in the pickling room have their fingers eaten by acid. Cooks live in danger of falling into open vats of boiling meat.
It was live or die, sink or swim. So the deadened conditions in the slaughtering house and that death that permeated also permeated the battle between the owners and the workers.
So for Vlogmas Day 19, I wanted to talk a little about this, about how disgustingly vile this true crime case is, that showcases the victims of capitalism under capitalism, the system, and the injustices of the whole, system itself. Under capitalism, the system, your life means nothing. That's just the cold, hard truth fact of the matter. Profits over lives are a daily thing under capitalism, where people, aka the victims of capitalism, are treated as wage slaves by the bourgeoisie. What I mean by capitalism putting profits over lives, I'm not only just talking about people, or workers, or employees. I'm talking about also animals, and the earth herself, etc. So the article reads, Caterpillar employee immediately incinerated after falling into a pot of molten iron, OSHA says. In this article, it says investigators with OSHA found that the factory regularly exposed employees to unprotected fall hazards as they worked close to deep containers of molten hot iron. The employee who died was a melting pot specialist who was removing a sample of iron from the furnace when he fell into the molten pot and was immediately incinerated. Federal safety regulators require employees to install guardrails or covers to protect workers from falling into dangerous equipment and pits. Caterpillar's failure to meet its legal responsibilities to ensure safety and health of workers leaves this worker's family, friends, and co-workers to grieve needlessly. OSHA Area Director Christine Zorman said. OSHA cited Caterpillar Inc. for one willful violation. The company is ordered to pay only a fine of $145,000 plus. Your one wild and precious life alone is worth approximately only $145,000 plus to your capitalist overlords and the people who are designed to hold capitalists accountable in a capitalist system, which is a laughable/tragic concept in itself. There is no justice underneath capitalism. Everything from the police departments to the Supreme Court are only used to serve the bourgeoisie, aka the rich and elite. Nestle and Cargill won a Supreme Court lawsuit against African chocolate slaves that accused them of child slavery in Africa, and this proves it. They used child slaves to harvest their chocolate, and no justice has, come out of this because the Supreme Court is ruled by capitalist pigs. There's not an excuse why they won, the lawsuit against them. There was a book called The Jungle, a book that came out in 1906, was written to demonstrate the evils of the capitalist system in America. In the novel, Upton Sinclair shows the way the capitalist system exploits the working class, gives absolute power to the bourgeoisie, wealthy few, aka, again, the capitalist pigs, and overall showcases the psychopathic system that is capitalism. The Jungle portrays the many vices and injustices that result from capitalism, including horrific working conditions, child labor, political corruption, prostitution, drinking, cheating, and crime. Workers are exposed to brutal working conditions where they suffer extreme exhaustion, injury, bodily harm, and death. In order to survive, individuals must compete for these horrendous jobs, send their children off to work, and prostitute themselves on the street. Under the capitalism system, cheating and dishonesty become the norm. Capitalism makes it okay to exploit others. Capitalism is a psychopathic, exploitative system.